Hello people of the internet, Abble here, and I'm starting off my channel that's gonna make YouTube hate me. But if it needs to be talked about, let's talk about it. Yesterday, Philip Defranco made a video talking about how YouTube was demonetizing his video because it was not advertiser friendly. Now, this entailed with some guidelines that he found, and I'll have them on the screen here and I will read through them. They're very vague and YouTube isn't being specific enough, and it's leaving their creators and their consumers very confused, very annoyed, and very frustrated. Now, the guidelines go: sexually suggestive content, including partial nudity and sexual humor, violence, including displays of serious injury and events related to violent extremism, inappropriate language, including harassment, profanity, and vulgar language, promotion of drugs and regulated substances, including selling, use, and abuse of these items, controversial and sensitive topics and events, including war, natural disasters, and tragedies, even if graphic imagery is not shown. See, now this is where the main problem sets in with this side, and then we'll get into more why this is a really bad decision on YouTube's part for YouTube in the future, but we're not going to get into that right now. Right now, I want to talk about the controversial and sensitive topics, because what's considered controversial and sensitive? You know, there's a lot of topics in this world that I'm sensitive to because of certain events that I've had, but they might not be sensitive to anyone else in this world except me. So, what is technically sensitive or controversial, and why wouldn't we be allowed to talk about them anyway? If people don't want to hear people's opinions, they don't have to seek them out. That's still not the main problem, because yeah, people can look at this and say, oh, it's just like Facebook with the conservative articles and Twitter with blocking Milo and all these things, but I think there's a more underlying problem here. Now, YouTube, obviously this has been happening in the past 36 hours, but it's been more of a problem in the past few months. It's seeming like more and more, because this happened to Phil, this happened to Boogie2988, this has happened to a lot of YouTubers where they go back and they see that older videos of theirs have been demonetized, meaning that they could have lost a lot of money without even knowing it because there was no notification process, unless you decided to go really far back in your analytics and somehow stumble across the fact that it's not monetized anymore. YouTube is leaving their creators with no explanation until now. And it's not right, it's not a good way to treat their creators, because YouTube, I hate to break it to you, but without your creators, you're nothing. You wouldn't have gotten to the place you are now, you wouldn't have gotten to the company you are now, you would have just been nothing. Your creators are your everything, and this is not a way to treat them. This topic doesn't even really affect me, but it just makes me so mad. Now, before I move on, I just want to talk about YouTube is a private company. They can do whatever the hell they want, and that's fine, as long as they're not hurting anyone or, you know, like directly abusing people or whatever. They can do whatever they want. They're a private company. That's how the world works. They're a private company. They don't have to follow freedom of speech. They don't have to do any of that. But it doesn't mean that they won't experience backlash if they don't go with it. If people disagree with them, they can backlash on them. That's just how the world works. You have to remember, if you really hate something that people are doing, that a company's doing, you control the market. The consumers control the market. If you don't like the one thing that runs Bob's building and more, you know, you don't like the things that he says, don't buy from him. You control it. And if you and enough people that disagree with Bob don't buy from him, he'll go out of business. That's how the world works. It's how capitalism works. It's how the free market works. That being said, just because YouTube is a private company and can do whatever the heck they want does not mean that the consumers will just stand there and watch, and does not mean that they should stand there and watch. I don't want to get too far into that right now. Let's talk about why The main reason why I'm making this video about when I watched this happen, I was just thinking to myself, my God, is YouTube being the biggest idiot right now? Because business-wise, this decision is idiotic, stupid, and overall just horrible for YouTube. I read the guidelines. It talked a lot about, sexual humor and profanity and swears and violence and all this kind of stuff. And there are a lot of really big named YouTubers that have been successful on YouTube and off that make content like this. Now, is YouTube gonna start censoring them? The main people that bring in their money, like PewDiePie, that has almost 50 million subscribers and 250 million views every month? Is he gonna get censored? Or is he not? Because he makes YouTube a lot of money based on his videos. And if they say, yeah, PewDiePie is gonna get censored, well, guess what? YouTube, you're gonna lose a lot of money. And I mean a lot of money. And do you say, oh no, I'm just not gonna censor him, I'm gonna go censor someone with 2 million subscribers, or someone with 1 million subscribers, or someone with 50,000? Well, if PewDiePie isn't censored just because they're making him money, well, that's not just unfair, that's really, really shady. They can't do that. And if they do, well, they're setting themselves up for a complete disaster for them. Now, Phil's video, I did already film this video, but then I'm refilming it because I saw Phil's latest video and it got corrupted and it was just a big pain. So he came out with a new video, which I will link both of his videos down below. I'm sure you've already seen them if you're searching for this topic, but I figured I'd leave them down below in case you haven't. Go show him some love. He's a really great YouTuber. But talked about how Smosh, one of the biggest YouTube channels on YouTube, has very suggestive content. He has videos of them dancing very sexually in bras and swearing and all this sort of stuff. Now, are they going to get censored? No. As of right now, as of Phil's video, they're not censored. Now, why aren't they censored? If Phil is, if Boogie is, if all these other YouTubers are, why aren't they? Just because they're making YouTube money? Or just because they have some sort of connection with YouTube that makes them so that they kind of slide under the rug while everyone else gets torn apart and loses so much money? And it's really frustrating because, there are people that have already made it, have made a lot of money off of YouTube, have already gotten to where they need to be, and if they didn't make money off the ads, well, maybe they would be okay. And now I'm not saying that they shouldn't be getting the money off the ads, because no, they definitely should. They put in the work, they do so much, they should. But how is it fair if one person is and the other person isn't, just based on how much money they make YouTube? As a consumer, I've only just started making video content. This doesn't affect me at all. I don't monetize my videos. I don't do anything, but it doesn't mean this doesn't make me upset. I can feel where these people are. I've gotten treated, badly, while one person gets treated like on a pedestal before. I know how awful this feels, and watching it is disgusting to me. Now, if YouTube decides to censor everyone, well, they have a big problem on their hands. Because if they censor everyone, everyone's either going to leave or lose subscribers or not let YouTube put ads on their videos, and YouTube won't make any money. But let's take someone an example. Let's talk about, we'll do Jenna Marbles. How about? So if Jenna Marbles were to all of a sudden just completely stop cussing in her videos, completely stop making any sexual jokes, completely stop making any jokes about controversial topics, anything like that, anything that makes her Jenna, makes her content unique, makes her sense of humor unique. If that happens, she's gonna lose her fan base. Her fans that have been with her since she started, the ones that fell in love with her humor right away, the ones that have watched all of her videos, well, they're gonna be, well, what the heck? This isn't the content I signed up for. I didn't sign up for the child-friendly Jenna. I signed up for Jenna. They're going to stop watching. which means YouTube is going to make less money off of those videos, which means Jenna is going to make less money off of their videos because she's not getting the ad views. She could just not monetize her videos at all. Not make a single video that's monetized because it's not monetizer friendly or advertisement friendly. YouTube isn't getting a dime from her. In fact, she's costing them money to put videos on her channel. So how is this smart business-wise? Now, there are two other options for creators if this really gets enforced. And I don't want any of this to have to come to this, but it might. This is what happens when you mistreat the people that make you big, make you famous, make you you, and make your company money and make your company popular, and could go to another website. They could go to another company. They can go to other things that will let them monetize their videos without censoring them. And if they do this, well, YouTube is screwed. You know, could you imagine if PewDiePie left, if KSI and the Sidemen left, if Smosh left, if Jenna Marbles, Grace Helbig, Hannah Hart, Mamrie Hart, all of them, if they just left, YouTube would be screwed. They would lose so much money so fast. And if they decide to do that, well, they're making one of the most idiotic business decisions they've ever made. There's one more thing that YouTubers can do. And in fact, Phil touched on this in his video today. He was sponsored. His video was sponsored in video, not through YouTube. He didn't even monetize it through YouTube. He just, you know, had a company contact him, say, "Hey Phil, I want to put an ad in your video. Let's do it." Well, guess what? He did. And YouTube didn't get a dime. They didn't get a single penny because the advertiser went directly to the creator. There's nothing YouTube can do there. They can't charge money. They can't get anything. They're just hosting the video, and they don't even get paid for that. And unfortunately, if YouTube keeps pushing this, that's what it's going to become, and YouTube is just going to start losing more and more and more and more money until they wake up. Because if YouTube keeps enforcing this, and all of a sudden, hey look, I'm going to go on an ad break, and right here I would place, you know, an advertisement for Charmin Ultra Strong toilet paper, or Crest toothpaste, or MacBooks, or whatever, then they'll start losing money, and YouTube will go down in a black hole. Now, they released a public statement today, and Phil talked about in this video. They say that they have not changed any guidelines. They're just they're making the notification process better. But that doesn't help. It doesn't make the creators less scared. It doesn't make any of this less scary. It's ridiculous. And YouTube, if you're watching this, you're probably not, but wake up. Viewers like me, I've been a consumer on YouTube for probably as long as it started. Wake up. I've noticed. Everyone else is noticing. The creators notice. Your most important people are noticing. And you're just letting it slide. You're hurting your creators, which will hurt you if you don't wake up. I know you're a private company. You can do whatever the heck you want. But business-wise, this is one of the stupidest decisions you've ever made. Really think about what you're doing. Because honestly, your creators will leave. Other companies will make websites just like yours. You're better than this. You've been better than this. And I don't think this is the end of YouTube, but I think that YouTube is just being really stupid. I'll see you later. I could probably talk about this for another 20 minutes, but I'm not going to do that because I'm just really frustrated and I want to get this video out, and yeah. And I'm not usually going to be like this. I'll probably usually be more goofy, more funny, more energetic, more me, but I just felt like I really needed to make this video. And it's not... I feel like I really need to make this because I hate when I see creators just kind of getting pushed aside or tossed around or taken advantage of. In the end, without creators on YouTube, on the internet in general, it wouldn't be successful. Without the trolls on Reddit and all the crazy blogs on Tumblr and all the goofy gamers and people who make sketches on YouTube, none of them would be where they are. And this isn't like Facebook censoring the conservative articles. This isn't like Twitter blocking Milo. This is different. This is actually this is taking away people's money, taking people's way of living, people's way they make money, everything. You need to step up, YouTube. You're better than